Hey, Drosy,
Yo, Rick.
hold it.
Hold what?
Well, I really don't know, but that's exactly what Zelga's screen is saying. It's saying hold
Oh,
it.
that is true. Interesting. Oh,
And
right.
we
Phoenix Wright, of course.
and we're going to be holding it because we have a really exciting match here between the spoilers at 21 points and Error 216 at 18 points. Zelga Desan versus The Lane. This is hype.
It really is. I mean, the number of accolades these two runners have gotten between them in terms of high-ranking finishes in different events is
Yep.
staggering and somewhat intimidating.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about this as we move throughout this afternoon together and into the evening. Week 5, Cross Keys in the Skullwoods division is underway between these two, and we see two different strats here for these runners. It looks like we will start off at the Sanctuary for the Lane. Zelga's probably going to do the Hula Hand and also check the Potion Shop, and that's exactly what Zelga is doing. Standard open for Zelga as the Lane heading. Oh, that's a great spot for the Sanctuary being inside of the village, so we're going to get plenty of checks over here.
Yeah, it also makes it really easy to do back of escape when you get some bombs.
Plenty of chances to get bombs here inside of this village too.
At least we hope.
Zelga doing a little bit of killing here, and it looks like the Lane trying to get some bombs on the 50-50. And Tower of Hera turns out to be at the Potion Shop.
That's
and the Desert over here at the Kakariko Village Shop.
Was that back of Desert? I saw the BMOS, but I didn't get a good enough look at the
back
block.
of Desert.
And the back of Tavern, of course, is always going to be the back of Tavern because it's the only place you enter from the top in the entire game.
There's the right side of Desert right there, and Zelga dropping in, finding out that it's a magic bat at the Useless Fairy spot.
And setting up his Houlihan.
Yep, drop down in the water 3 times, head on over inside and get yourself 225 rupees, while the Lane's getting himself a Spear 1 item out of this first chest inside of Desert Palace, trying to avoid the Igors to get himself a small key to Thieves Town.
Well, that's one fewer thing to worry about when we find Thieves Town.
Naturally, we don't know what these dungeons are going to be. In Cross Keys, you don't know until you get the maps, kind of like how it is in normal Key Sanity modes. We really didn't have a whole lot of time to introduce the aspect about this mode here, being Cross Keys this week. As all the entrances have been shuffled, we find out that Desert Middle takes you over to the Lake Hylia Island. Was that Desert Middle or Desert Left?
I think it was Desert Left.
I believe so too. We find Ether and Super Bunny, which is at the Fortune Teller spot near Lake Hylia.
And now we'll see where it actually connects to. Or did we come in this way?
No, we came in this way, so it's only going to give us the information of the upper. We'll later see the drop down. And they'll know they won't have to take it because we already farmed off both of the items. We find ourselves a map on the Lake Hylia Island. Depending on what we find out about this seed as we move along, will determine what we actually do look at. Whether or not we actually grab that map. We do see one of the entrances to Hyrule Castle inside of the shop.
Yeah, now remember, Cross Keys is 7/7 fast Ganon, effectively, so we just need to collect the 7 crystals, find Ganon, and beat him. Now, Ganon could be locked away somewhere. He could be in his vanilla location, in which case we'd need to beat Aga 2 just to open the pyramid. He might be at Lumberjack, in which case we'd need to beat Aga 1 to open Lumberjack. We don't know yet. Oh, there's Ganon. So he is at Uncle location, so...
Very solid find right there, by the way. And we do see Zelga trying to set up a tree pole to find out what we get. Oh, just single rupees. Unfortunate. We did find, the Lane's the first one to Hotel Mario.
Achievement unlocked?
Not that it's worth anything of major importance, but it is a general meme inside of the community in regards to whoever gets to the first one to that one place with the 6 beds and that Mario-looking figure in the middle of the room.
I don't even know what that guy says in vanilla.
About his bushes not needing to be trimmed. And
Oh,
then I think he's the one who tells you about the Zora area.
now finding Swamp Palace and Blinds Hut, another thing to remember about Cross Keys and Entrance Rando in general is once you pull the dam, it stays pulled. So we just need to find it, pull it, and then we need to never need to think about it again. Swamp will be flooded.
So, yeah, we did find Swamp Palace, so that's good to actually see. We found ourselves our first sword, which is also good to see as well. And there's Zelga finding the Hotel Mario as well. So, only a few seconds behind. We did, by the way, find a big key that is now hammer blocked in what is normally the Magic Bat location.
Might be a while before we find out what it's the big key to and whether we need it or not.
And we see the drop down from the Spiral Cave at the front of the tavern.
Which really does nothing for us because given where Sank is, we already have a quick route to CAC.
Yeah, unless it turns out to be you find it like in the Dark World and you want to return to the village to do something in Desert or Swamp Palace later on. Like, those could be the instances of why you'd want to check it. It looks like the lane is going to be trying to get the 50-50s for the bombs, gets 0 out of 2, and we'll try again. Cross Keys is one of those kind of modes where you really want to find out about all of the nuances that this game gives you, like these 50-50s with the bombs, like where all the magic refills are, because it's not like your normal modes where you know you can go into Hyrule Castle, get yourself 2 small magic jars. By the way, Lane getting 2 of the magic bomb, or the 2 of the bomb drops there, and we find the top of Spiral Cave over here at the race game entrance, or the Wright Quarling brothers.
Okay, that would actually be a great time to do Spiral Cave. Oh, there's a lamp on the race game, which we will probably need the mirror to access unless the left side of that house is a connector.
Yeah, that's the only other way that would be able to get you there, and sometimes it does work out to be that favor, but that's one of those things where you got to remember when you're in the Dark World that you might want a mirror there in order to get, first of all, that entrance, and then secondly, the item on the race game. So Zelga's going to be going through the Spiral Cave. Does not know that the bottom's going to spit him out at the tavern, but that's going to actually work out for him here.
Yeah, it looks like Thalane, who does know where it's going to spit him out, is doing the same thing because...
Yeah, this is a free item. You have to do it.
Yeah. And we actually have a sword now that we can use, too.
Yeah, a whole lot better than having to walk through here and just try to hope that the mini Moldorms play nice. And it turns out to be a big key to Turtle Rock.
Pretty good chance we'll need that.
Yep. And that's another thing you got to remember about Cross Keys is that the keys and what you do about the keys might be a little bit different. And there's the confirmation that's Desert Back. Oh gosh, double beeping. Thank you, the lane. Zelga getting good luck there with the 50-50 bomb drop, and we'll be able to be the first one to check this bombable hut. Just getting a fairy fountain. All right, so at this point in time, I think, well, we see the lane's going to be heading over toward the middle entrance of Desert, see where that takes him out to. While Zelga finishes up with the village, probably will end the route up on the north area with the Lost Woods. Oh, that's a great place to be dumped out to.
I decided I'd switch audios and spare our viewers Thalane's double beeping.
SpeedGaming 2 thanks you for your efforts, Drossi. This is kind of one of those modes where the early part of this run is more frantic because of all the entrances that you got to keep up with. The lane's now going to show us what we have in the back 3 of Escape.
But without a key, that's all he can do. But our first heart container, nice find.
Never know when you wind up getting very few hearts to make your way through the world. Now, the nice thing about having Sanctuary in Kakariko Village is that you're so close to everything. So it's a nice place to do a save and quit. It helps out with your routing decisions when you find connectors, because then you know if you wind up going to a bad connector, you could just save and quit and you're not that far away.
And now we're getting our first look up to the
Paradox.
Oh, nice find. 7 chests and 3 exits.
And we're going to check the middle entrance first. The lane getting lucky, the fact that it wasn't a glove-blocked entrance.
It looks like he wants to check out Lost Woods before he explores this.
Yeah, being a connector, I can't blink. Well, he's going back to start anyway now.
Well, at least, you know, starting at Sank, it's nice and easy to get right back there, as you were saying.
Absolutely. It's not quite a devastating incident. And I think the other reason is, by the way, check a look at that bomb count. Only 1. So you've got to make a decision. And if you wind up failing on that bomb jump, well, actually, you got to spend that 1 bomb, and then you'd have to find your way to using the connector. So I think that might be part of the reason why the lane opted not to go through with this at this point.
There are 7 chests, though. The likelihood of one of those 7 chests having bombs is decent.
Well, I'd almost put in a prediction if we were going to find any bombs in those 7 checks, but it's too late. We're probably not going to get even any points into the prediction pool before he checks these 7 chests.
Our tracker mentioning the bomb store, but we don't have enough money to buy. Well, now we have enough money to buy bombs.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
The
okay.
answer is yes. Zelga taking that bomb back because he got nothing back in there, so it's going to just save that bomb and never mind that heart container. Okay, 10 arrows. There's the moon pearl. That's a very important piece. There's a mirror. That's also another important piece.
So we just need some sort of Dark World access, and we can get the lamp now, which could be very useful as a fire source.
Now, don't forget, we have now already seen a connector to the bridge of the Turtle Rock Bridge. So that could be important. Now, the lane gets shoot out somewhere where he really didn't want to get shoot out at the hookshot entrance because he can't go back inside, but we'll at least get some information on what's up here in the mountain.
Looked like TR was Quake to me. It was a very quick check, but Bombos. I think I saw Quake. Bombos, okay. Oh, yeah, was Bombos. You know, swirl in one direction, swirl in another direction. It's all a swirl to me.
That was awful to me. Zelga using the last bomb of his to purchase 10 of them.
And then he's going to feel silly when he gets 3 more, and... But yes, he had that extra money from the Houlihan.
Get a refund of that bomb. The lane using the mirror before disaster happens with the Lionel, which is a good time here. And now we have a whole bunch of places we can check up here on Death Mountain. So the fun never stops here in this match between Era 216 and the Spoilers, and we get another connector. That is the Turtle Rock Pyramid, or rather Turtle Rock Ferry spot.
It is interesting that, like, so many Death Mountain caves seem to wind up on Death Mountain here. Always seems to happen.
And we're going to get some information about this. See, Turtle Rock is our green pendant.
So that makes it kind of interesting that we got the big key early. If rods start showing up, then we have to wonder.
And so one of these caves over here on the left-hand side is going to be a dark cave. It's going to be where the Old Man Rescue is.
Yes, because it always has to come out somewhere from where you can actually return him to his home. And then you discover that the inside of his home is someplace altogether different.
And so therefore we have Thieves Town here. Now Zelga finding a bomb shop on the other side of the desert or no, he's on the bridge.
Yeah, he came out that exit of Paradox Cave and realized that there are 3 more entrances for him to check with the mirror.
Shot Cave. Interesting find.
Yeah, no boots or hook shots, so we can't do anything other than follow the connector, but good to know about.
Yeah, this is you. I think in the position that Zelga's in, you want to be taking some of these connectors to see where they go. Now, the lane inside of Thieves Town, which is at the Death Mountain Descension Cave, and Zelga gets out a Dark Lumberjack.
Yeah, so that's our first access to the lower dark world. And was I saying about if we start finding rods?
There's still more we need to find there, buddy.
Oh, yes. I mean, logically, Try and X requires all 4 small keys, because you could blow the first 3 in other parts of Turtle Rock.
Well, you could, but why would you do that?
I'm just saying if, like, the seed is really trying to point us towards a green pendant turn-in.
By the way, we get a Gina here for the lane.
And we're gonna find out what's at Lumberjack from Zelga.
Which does require defeating of Agate's Tower in order to get access, and it is the vanilla, and what was that? I did not see it. That was way too fast, Zelga.
I think it was a vanilla piece of heart at the vanilla Lumberjack.
I missed it. I don't know. We're just gonna go and roll with it. All right, so we are now starting to run out of locations that the old man can be for the rescue. It does look like the lane wants to do a little bit of investing. Actually, no. Looks like he's Dark World. Yeah, we're gonna check the Cane of Burnt or the Spike Cave entrance. Oh no, we're gonna. Okay, the lane wants bombs. Okay, we had no bombs. That's why. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, good. They're sitting right there. Good way to restock.
We do find useless fairies, so I'm getting a little worried. By the way, Drossi.
About like whether something big like Cackwell is behind Agatu and we'll need to do it to get one of the 5 items there.
It's extremely a possibility at this point.
Yeah, you do kind of hate to see.
Oh no, it's either Uncle or the well. It's one of 2.
Have we seen everything else?
Yes.
I guess so. Right, I always try to remember to look. So there's Uncle, there's Sank, there for drop downs, Magic Bat, Useless Fairy, Cackwell, Thieves Hideout, obviously the Pyramid, and what am I missing?
I wasn't even paying attention. I was just noting where the Turtle Rock right entrance that the lane found. And that is very important because that's the only way you can access that big chest.
And we have the big key, so once we have Samaria or the hookshot, that big chest is in logic.
Looks like the lane wants to get back over to Paradox Cave here to get back over to the mountain, and Zelga is going to grab a small key to Turtle Rock. Now that is 2 known Turtle Rock smalls. And the lane now exploring the connectors here that include the Hookshot Cave. And it's going to be checking the Dark Fortune Teller spot over here, just north of the Village of Outcast. And these checks are way too fast.
I think that was a blue
able to do it.
I mean, he's Zelga. He has something like a 135 as his cross keys PB.
Well, he now has to go back to start from that guard.
Chat's saying that's the bloomerang, not a bloopy.
All right, well, either way, we're not going to go all the way to do that. And I don't think that's what Zelga wanted to do either. Now, if we ever get to a point where we are checking the same things that other runners are checking, already have checked, then we can tell you about these 2 runners and about the fantastic teams that these 2 play for. But in the meantime, we continue with a lot of excitement here on this hype match on SpeedGaming 2 in the Skull Woods Division. Zelga now going out to the entrance that we saw the lane going out earlier, and it's going to go ahead and find out that we have a piece of heart on the floating island. It's going to go ahead and see what we have up here on the top of the mountain as well. Just a fairy fountain.
Aw, Zelga didn't want to play the chest game. We never even see the chest game, that chest game normally.
Why would you want to play the chess game?
If you're really desperate for money and want to take risks.
Find Curiosity Shop over here on the graveyard. So Zelga finding the Fairy Ascension Cave, and opts not to go through it either, because I think the ultimate goal, if you are either of these runners, is that you want to find out where the old man is and do the rescue, because that opens up a new location that you can start from, and maybe that gives you a favorable spawn location.
I mean, it could even be something really crazy like your access to Misery Mire.
Yeah, and that's another thing you got to keep in mind when it comes to cross keys. Have you found a connector that takes you over to Misery Mire? If not, then you're going to be playing the great game of find your way to get to the flute, so that way you can get to an annoying dungeon over in the Mire area.
Right, there always seems to be a dungeon in the Mire area, no matter what.
That's confirmation bias, but I'll take your word for it.
Most observations of RNG are confirmation bias.
I think we're at a position where we actually can mention about these runners. As Zelga Disan from the Spoilers, the wisdom player of that team, currently sitting with 21 points, a 7-1 record for the Spoilers. Their one lone loss was against the Tile Roomies in week number 3. That was the Casual Boots week. Error 216 sitting with 18 points. There's confirmation that that's our Boomerang. And we do see a couple of losses here for Error 216, including week 1 in the All Dungeons co-op that was against Don't Forget to Track Us, and then week 3 against the Bomb Squad. That was the Bomb Squad's only win so far this season.
And gee, who was racing in that win?
Some member of the Bomb Squad against some member of Error 216. It may or may not be me, but I'm not going to do my own horn in this case. The Lane being a regular of the Link to the Past randomizer for a long, long time. Got to see him at SpeedGaming Live 2019. Fun time as we stuck his name badge with a whole bunch of E's.
And I've heard that he continues to win other people's E's in things like Pog Championship.
Pog Championships and ladder stuff, and being a member of the Season 1 champions of the league.
Indeed, Team Sugoi, Team Awesome. Now spread out over 3 different teams, as Hitsuyan is part of I Like Big Boots, and Yoshi is part of Triple Dino Disaster.
Number 1, did you see what the Lane just did?
He found the Swamp Small Key, which is kind of a big deal.
Did you see where he is?
Yes.
Fairy Ascension takes you over to that one exit out of Bumper Cave, and that is a pretty big key to find, because we don't know if Swamp is a pendant or a crystal, but if it is a crystal, that's something you need in this game.
Swamp, where the big key acts as a small key and the small key acts as a big key.
Look at
Oh,
this
and
strike here from Zelga. Frozen guard, 1 and 2, and you're down.
yes, they bounce very nicely.
Fortunately, getting nothing out of that. He's going to do a sequence break to get himself to the back, or at least to Dark Cross. We do find a big key. Which big key did we just get?
Eastern, another good one to have.
Yeah.
We know where the lamp is, so that's in logic. So the only thing stopping us from full clearing Eastern when we find it is the bow.
We had the lamp?
The lamp was on race game, and since we
know
have
where
the
lamp
mirror,
is. Never mind. Okay, I see where you're going with that. We don't
Yeah.
have the lamp. We know where it is.
right, and therefore anything lamp locked is in logic because we know where the lamp is.
By the way, Zelga right there against those ropes has to be careful because these, depending on what world you go into, Hyrule Castle, if you're in by way of the Dark World, these ropes hit you for a lot of damage. If you come in through the Light World, they don't hit you that badly. They still will hurt you pretty badly if you start letting them get to you. But if you're, that's why you want to make sure what world you go into Hyrule Castle in. Right,
Basically,
Spike Cave is at the Old Man Cave.
basically, they think they're the crickets from Thieves Town
Yeah.
attic. They have a little bit of an identity crisis if you come in through the Dark World.
Anyways, we got the Ganon's Tower big key from the Old Man.
At least we won't have to go searching for it, though it only actually locks 5 chests plus whatever's in Pyramid, which is looking like Cackwell, so I guess that means it locks 10 chests.
Well, there's not confirmation of that. Neither of these runners have been through the Lost Woods yet. That is where the other drop down that we haven't seen, and it's either the Hyrule Castle or the Old Man Escape, the Uncle passageway there, or it's going to be the well. You want it to be the well because, you know, it's 5 versus 2 at that point. But either way, we know that drop down from Ganon is going to have items.
Right, so decent chance the runners are going to have to do Aga 2.
Looks like Zelga's getting ready to find out that Ganon's Tower big key from the Old Man in just a moment, but first going into the Pyramid Ferry to get that Eastern Palace big key and the shield as well. So Zelga, as we've mentioning, as we haven't really had the opportunity to mention, has pretty good accolades too. Actually, we'll get to that in just a moment. We do find another dark cave here, and the lane unfortunately finds it's the other side of the Old Man rescue.
But yes, as you were starting to say, most recently Zelga was 4th place in the most recent Cross Keys tournament, so distinctly at this mode. He was also Ladder Season 4 and Ladder Season 5 Cross Keys champ.
He was ladder champion in those modes, yes. Semi-finalist in the main tournament 2021, and also semi-finalist in the Cross Keys tournament. Those are pretty good results there for Zelga. And all of this that we're saying here is to make sure that you know that this is a great match between 2 excellent runners.
Amazingly, Zelga's team missed playoffs last season by a single point.
And here they are looking in pretty good shape in order to make it to the playoffs, but, you know, they still have more weeks to go. We find another one of our multi-item caves. Here we are. This is the Mini Moldorm Cave. Where we get the red meringue. We get ourselves a small key to Skull Woods. Not necessarily needed, but you like seeing it. We get the Tower of Hera small key. We get the Compass Eastern, which is unnecessary, but we do get ourselves a Flippers, which is nice to see. And Zelga trying to do a bomb jump here to try to get something bonus. Yes, and congratulations.
So, the thing about that Hera Small, we know where Hera is. We know where to get a fire source. There could be something in Coffee Break Chest.
Well, one person knows about Hera, the other doesn't yet.
We know about it. Yes, the lane has not been over to East Light World yet.
right, Zelga. Oh, okay. That, on the other hand, was not okay, but that is a extraordinarily good find there for Zelga.
Really starting to make me think that there is something on either Trinex or the Green Pendant.
Now, here's the thing. How are we supposed to get that? Obviously, that means the laser bridge entrance. That's not going to get us that cane of Samaria. But there has to be a way into the left side, or we're going to find the hookshot at some point.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, he'll go through here and see where the exit is.
Yeah, at this point, you might as well. Big key to thieves. Oh!
That's our first fully completable dungeon.
That's a solid find. Now, we can't get everything in there just yet. We are still lacking the hammer.
Indeed. Probably not going to rush it for that very reason. Runners do not like isolating that check.
Gee, I wonder why. Week number 2. Me versus Zelga. Misery Mire Big Key in that Thieves Town Big Chest. Enough of an example right there. Zelga not opting to use up another key at this stage, and probably for good reason, but we do see Zelga now arming himself to use that one key that he does have. This is going to be to Laser Bridge.
And then he'll be able to check that exit, and he'll be able to eventually check the middle left exit as Thelaine picks up his Master Sword logically locked.
I like that strike. He used the boomerang to alert the guard and then just got towards the guard. That way he didn't have to move a whole lot.
And now that he has the Master Sword, he can just slash guards easily. But here he is doing the same
strat as Zelga.
I love how they bounce.
All right, Zelga is not going to check the entrance, and I can't blame him for not checking the entrance. You want to know why?
Because he could get locked out if it's like under a rock?
If it's under a rock or under bonk rocks, that's it. You don't get back here, and you have to do what you just did to get back there later on. And Zelga is one of those ones who's perfected this little movement. You see how he jitters that movement to get past that laser? It times it real well, and Zelga has perfected that as we've moved along, and that's a good dump out location for Laser Bridge.
But now we don't know where the logical access to Cane of Samaria is supposed to be from. At some point, we'll probably want to go back in there and check where that gets us out.
Zelga's now going to make another sequence break, and this is going to be heading on over to the Dark Shopping Mall. We're going to be isolating one entrance. And I think he reset to try this again with better RNG or better movement. Because you want to be moving to the right, because your invincibility frames are going to carry you past these enemies here that are dropping those little bombs, not long enough so that you can get to the dock.
Right, because as is always the case in 1.0, if you fake flipper and take a hit, you dead.
I wonder if Zelga forgot that he doesn't have the gloves just yet. Oh, this is a good find. Another multi-item cave. 5 items inside.
And so nice and fast to go through with the mirror.
And if he gets gloves here, then he can check this other spot and be super golden. Small key to Dark Palace. Oh!
Gotta go fast. So that's pretty huge. Now we can start checking bonk rocks too, as well as going fast. How many bonk rocks entrances are there? 3 all told?
There are 3, plus we also have, of course, the King's Tomb. So 4 entrances are blocked by the boots.
Oh yeah, and since we have Dark World access in the mirror, we can get to King's Tomb.
Now, Zelga's going to check to see where the side entrance is. This is important information at this stage.
And we've now started picking up pod keys.
And looks like Zelga's going to be bonking into the wall again, because did not do that. That did not end well.
No, on Green Mail, those lasers can take a few hearts out of you.
Yeah. It looks like we're on Death Mountain Descension Cave for the lane over here on the left. Okay, yes. We do have access to that. That is Hype Cave exit. That is how we're supposed to get that Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, that's nice and easy to get to, and now also helps us to route to that part of the map and check out Bomb Shop entrance and stuff like that. And maybe the Bonk Rocks northwest of Bomb Shop and Link's house.
Zelga's beelining it over here to the Swamp Palace entrance.
Now, funnily enough, our runners are basically in the same place but opposite worlds.
Eastern Palace found. We don't have a bow, we can't finish it just yet.
Hey, Rick? What
Yeah?
would you say if there's a French vanilla bow in Eastern?
Is this even randomized?
I mean, it only has to be French vanilla, not vanilla.
Well, sure, fine.
The lane's giving us a hobo check.
And meanwhile, Zelga is giving us Old Man Back. That's where Zelga is.
How do you know the difference between all these dark caves in the dark?
Magic. First bottle.
Vanilla.
Only except for it's filled with cherry Kool-Aid. Or high C, depending on what you want. Your beverage of choice.
Capri Sun.
If that works. All right, the lane's giving us a check at the waterfall, which is in logic. And, oh, Hype Cave.
Another 5-item spot.
That's the last of the big item caves, too. We get ourselves blue mail. We get ourselves a compass to Desert Palace. And we get ourselves a piece of heart, red rupee, and another compass. So nothing really good is here except for that blue mail.
Which, given all the different dungeons we're going into on low health, that blue mail should not be understated.
Yeah, but if you're gonna have something like this, and the lane doesn't know it, obviously, those flippers are his advantage at this stage. And right now, that Hype Cave doesn't lead you to anything of importance. It doesn't lead you to anything that you need for progression. We do have ourselves a cape, which we haven't found Bumper Cave yet. That's what you might need that for. Also, the Aga Tower entrance as well, although we do have Master Sword, so that's irrelevant.
And if a Glove and Hammer were to show up, that could be our logical Spike Cave access.
Get ourselves another pod small key. That is 2 of them now for Zelga.
And Thalane's 1 pod key is a different one, so we know where 3 of them are.
And that's usually enough to get you into the back when we do find the Palace of Tower. Or the Palace of Darkness, rather. Palace of Tower. There you go. That's a whole name. A whole new name.
Neither runner has shown any interest in grabbing that lamp yet.
Neither runner has won through the Village of Outcasts yet, and I think that's when they're waiting to route it in. But I don't think they really want to check that area until they get the hammers, because they don't want to isolate that one entrance.
Oh, right. You don't think about that entrance if you don't play Entrance Rando. Like, in general, entrance rando players know where all these entrances that other players just would never even think about.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you have to think about here in Cross Keys. It is not an easy mode. It is a very, very difficult mode because not only are you trying to track your entrances, you're trying to figure out what this logic is going to do, especially when you're doing sequence breaks like what we've seen from Zelga here. All right, last check here for Zelga, unless this turns out to be the bow. Well, it goes with the bow, but that's not the bow. Judging on where these two are heading, though, I think Zelga's going to be the first one to actually get that lamp. Because I think the way Zelga's probably going to route this, he's going to check that one annoying spot over here to the right, near the lake. Go to the house, check the bonk rocks, and slowly make his way over to the digging game.
Right, and that's kind of the end of his route because he doesn't have the mitts, but he can check mirror locations, like he'll probably check both the light and dark bonk rocks northwest of the bomb shop.
Yep. That's exactly what he's going to probably do, and I see his mirrors out already, so he's thinking that as we speak. Check this first. Is it anything of importance? It is the other side of Super Bunny.
And how about the light one here?
It is K45, slightly removed.
Well, that's another entrance we'll be checking on the way. Thalain working his way through Skull Woods. Now, mind you, the back of Skull Woods, which is fire rod locked, can lead to anywhere. All the other Skull Woods entrances are randomized, but the fire rod locked, that is, the other Skull Woods entrances are all randomized among themselves.
Oh, there's a bow!
Now we can do Eastern.
Now, one thing to keep in mind when it comes to Skull Woods, there is a guarantee. And that guarantee is going to be seen here from the lane real soon. This pinball room that the lane is going to go into is always going to be a small key to the dungeon.
That is because otherwise you could be locked in here, and as opposed to non-entrance rando, Ice and Thieves are the 5-6 crystals. But yes, it could be a real pain to get back here if you were forced to save and quit because that wasn't a small key.
All right, here's the Zelga going to be checking this entrance as well as getting this lamp. So the lamp's going to be the important thing first, and then we're probably going to lift up a bomb so that way we walk over the portal and then check the left Quarling Brothers entrance. By the way, apparently we found another Turtle Rock Small. And it is turned out to be the Arrow game, slightly removed.
But we have enough money.
Yep, and we might get some more here by way of the digging game for Zelga. This is the end of the route, unless he chooses to go back into Eastern, which I wouldn't be surprised if Zelga does that at this point. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's not doing a save and quit. That kind of tells me that this is going to be going back to Eastern.
Well, it's a crystal. You're gonna have to do it sooner or later. Armos Knights has an item.
We find Meyer's shed at the chess game. There's a Quake and a compass to Skull Woods.
So at 43 minutes in, we still have relatively few leads.
But we have one lead. Zelga's about ready to finish Eastern.
Yes, he will have a crystal lead at least.
Yep. The lane does not have any Titan's mitts, cannot lift up that rock, and has to abandon that play to check the hammer pegs. And I think he may have forgotten to do the brewery. Yep, he forgot to do the brewery, so he's going to double back here to get this now. And the brewery turns out to be not a cave you want to see.
I just figure if it's something I don't recognize, it's probably nothing I want to see.
So the way I think the lane's going to be routing this is he's going to get here to the bomb shot, find out what his 5-6 are going to be. He's going to loop around.
He
will
doesn't
have
even want to
the
know
bow.
what his 5-6 are going to be, apparently.
Yeah, he opted not to even check that. That's interesting. Anyways, what we are going to see is he will get this bomb, rather get this lamp. He will get the bow real soon. Then he'll be able to do Eastern Palace. I think the way that that the lane's going to route this, he will get to the Turtle Rock left entrance soon enough so that way he can get that Cane of Samaria. And then eventually this route will end with him getting the boots at the Dark Shopping Mall.
Oh, if he goes all the way, that makes sense. Especially since he has flippers.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way it's going to have to be routed if you're the lane. And a heart container, and we get ourselves our first crystal on the board belonging to Zelga Desan.
So where was that most recent TR small key? I know Thelaine picked up a TR small that we hadn't seen somewhere in Village of Outcasts.
I'm going to think it was in Skullwood somewhere.
That
There's
could
the
be.
bow pickup for the lane.
Ooh, Graveyard Ledge, sitting on what would normally be the entrance to Laser Bridge.
Another pod small key.
Oh yeah, I think that was the one Thelaine has, actually.
And yep, there's confirmation there. That is Death Mountain Descent for Zelga. Now that we can actually see what the cave is. Has no interest of doing that. Has no interest of doing the Old Man Rescue Cave either.
Having already rescued the old man. And now Thelaine will find Turtle Rock.
Yep, and I think at this point, given the amount of keys that he has, he's going to get in here, dig it a little bit. And again, that will get him the Cane of Samaria. And like I said, this route for the lane, he will head over to Eastern, finish that dungeon off, and then go to Dark Shopping Mall.
I wonder if Zelga is thinking at all about doing the first half of Tower of Hera now that he does have Fire Source plus Hera Small plus knowledge of where Hera is.
Not without a big key.
Well, that's why I said the first half.
I think if you want to do Tower of Hera, you want to either wait until you get the big key or you get the hook shot. That way you can do it and just get on out. I think Thieves' Town is a better chance of a dungeon that Zelga might be finishing at some point in time.
And let's see how Thelaine routes TR here. Like, he'll probably do like Zelga and not go through this door.
The unfortunate thing, and he does have the mirror already out, the unfortunate thing is that he's doing it in this direction, which would, I mean, if he had the Cane of Samaria, that would probably have made the decision even more greater, as we do now see Zelga going through the Death Mountain Descension Cave, and it'll be interesting to see where this comes out. I don't think we saw where it came out on the lane's end. That's unfortunate death right there.
At least he had just mirrored.
I guess we're never taking that connector. surprised that the lane's not using Ice Rot, and I guess I know why we're not doing Ether Strats, because it just freezes it.
I'm a bit surprised he didn't pick up those bombs when he had the chance. He's down to 5.
Alright, Zelga is going to be taking this and will be credited with the Swamp's Maul in just a moment. And there's the Cane of Samaria for the lane, and at this point, you've got to do Laser Bridge. Like, there's no other option about it. You've got to do Laser Bridge at this point. Now, the unfortunate thing about Laser Bridge is it might take the lane... Actually, no, there's not much that lane could do now without the glove or hammer at this point. He's kind of locked in there.
Yeah,
he will take the portal. He will take the portal, and thus will get to the boots. So
I mean,
either way, he's getting the boots.
I'm honestly wondering about the back of Thieves Town or the bottom 3 checks in Hera, because we're running out of stuff.
Well, by the looks of things, we still might have a few options open to us, but the question is, well,
Ooh.
There we go. We can't logically beat this dungeon, but that's not going to stop Zelga from finishing this dungeon.
Right, because there is that locked door, so logically we need all the small keys in case we burned all but one of them in the front.
Well, there's another reason why.
Oh, right, the room where he's going to do some clever bomb jumps to light the torches. You're really supposed to have the fire rod.
Yep. And so you're just going to line yourself up against the back of this door and then lay down the bomb. That puts you perfectly in position every single time. Now, one thing that Zelga's going to want to do is be careful of these Gyptos because they do 2 hearts damage. Don't really want to take too many mummy hugs. Quickly through the door. There you go. The lane now inside of the Tower of Hera, giving us an answer of what's in here.
And he will be doing that coffee break, so we'll find out if this is anything.
Nice kill of the Gypto right there for Zelga. Now the time to see how well Zelga does. Master Sword fight coming up here against Mothula.
Not everyone's favorite, but at the same time, I don't think it's too hard for Zelga.
Yeah, it's better than a fighter sword fight at this stage.
Yeah, you like to have tempered or a fire rod.
But look at these spins. That's a beautiful spin. That's a beautiful fight. And a bug catching net on the bug.
I don't think that's progression.
What, you don't think we're gonna need that for Aga 2?
I mean, we could. It's swaggy.
I'm surprised we still haven't been to Lost Woods yet.
And Hera is a bust. But yes, as you said, there is an entrance in the Lost Woods dropdown that will get us either 2 or 5 chests, as well as something just sitting there in the mushroom spot.
And we find the wrong side of the Ice Rod Cave. Oh, the lane trying to figure out what to do next, trying to figure out what's up next here. What can I do? Where do I go? This will put the lane out at the Mini Moldorm exit.
Have we seen what's in the Thieves Town entrance?
Yeah, we have. We've seen everything from the lane. The only thing of note was Myra's shed over here, where Quake is going to be. That Zelga's at right now. We get a quick map check. I missed it.
I missed it too. Though we already know 3 of the Dark World things. Oh, and Thelaine is going to...
Yep, we're inside of Thieves Town now.
We know it's a crystal. Well, Thelaine doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't have that beautiful looking C or P next to it. I wonder why Thelaine did not talk to the bomb vendor.
Yeah, it takes about 3 seconds. I don't know. Maybe he just feels like he's gonna clear things and like, oh, eventually I'll have enough crystals, and if I'm still not in go mode, I'll see if he's open yet.
So, if you're rooting on the lane, and I know Error 216 is at this point, I think you actually want to see the hammer here. Now, it can only be in one chest here, and that will be downstairs where the maiden is.
Wait, since we have the small key, why couldn't it be up here?
Well, that's a good question.
Oh, look what's been sitting in Lost Woods this whole time.
That was a weird-looking graphical glitch there, but that's a huge find for Zulga. Whoa!
So, yes, there's our mire access.
Well, once we get the Titan's Mitt.
Oh, true. That pesky glove.
Spear 1 Flute. Picked up at 55 minutes in. And I think to answer your question, by the way, why the hammer couldn't be upstairs, I think it's the same reason why the hammer couldn't be in the attic in normal modes, because you could misuse your keys. I think. I could be wrong. I don't know why that graphical glitch happened there with Zulga. Everything seems to be fine.
Once you've found the key to the small key to Thieves Town, I don't think there's any way you can misuse your keys.
I don't know. We find Aga's Tower up here in the in that tree.
Not gonna bother beating the guy because we know that Lumberjack is just Lumberjack, and we don't really need a portal.
And one other thing, we only have 0 keys for this place.
Oh, yeah, so we can't even get the second chest.
Yeah, that's the one thing you gotta remember. In this mode, we're not doing FAD keys. Those 2 Aga Tower keys can be somewhere else. All right, finally, we're gonna see what's at the Lost Woods drop-down. It's the well. With the fire rod!
Sphere 1 fire rod. Sphere 1 flute, Sphere 1 fire rod, Sphere 1 glove. It's all been sitting here in Lost Woods for nearly an hour.
With a Dark Palace key and a Dark Palace key.
Not that we've found Dark Palace yet.
And now Zulga is going to go back into the Dark World and is going to check the skull.
Right, he needs to first get into the entrance that will take him through to the back.
Yep, and that's where he's going right now. All right. Spear 1, everybody. Okay, back of skull leads to Misery Mine.
We don't have the big key, nor do we have any small keys, so routing's gonna be a bit annoying.
And technically we only have access to a few items, but Zulga's gonna leave here with 6. The lane is getting lost. I think the lane, because of the forgetting of doing the Lost Woods, may have actually just found himself running out of things to do. And is now in that process where you're like, what am I missing? And that's not a good feeling.
Well, he's in the right area for going to the Lost Woods, but
And
he
I
seems
think
to be
that's
going
where he's
right.
going right now.
Okay, he is going up.
Okay, he will get the flute, he will get the fire rod, he will get the glove. That's good news.
Oh, did Zelga skip Spike Chest because of his lack of an invincibility item?
Yeah, I think at this point, he's going to make that his last stop. That also means that the Uncle drop down is going to be what's at Ganon's drop down. Well, now we have an invincibility item. There you go.
And with half magic should be very easy to do Spike Chest, but hey, he's on the left side now. We're gonna get the cutscene.
Yeah, he's got to be careful still through this room, because this is a dangerous room with those bomb-dropping enemies. They can kill you. These whiz ropes can kill you, but now he'll be fine. There's the flute pickup for the lane. As we've reached the 1 hour mark of this run between Era 216 and the spoilers, we do want to remind you to follow these runners. These are excellent runners who play a lot of Link to the Past Randomizer. We also do want to thank our tracker behind the scenes, clicking those buttons, making those icons appear as they go ahead and hit them. Tafiel, I believe it's how it's pronounced. Thank you very much for doing the hard work. Drossi, back to you.
Yes, so nothing much on left side Meyer there, other than a waste of time. But hey, that is the big key to Skull Woods, which is 1 check.
Does that really surprise you that there's nothing in those 3 chests?
I mean,
chests, rather.
Given what it takes to put it in logic, you need to find all 3 small keys. Yeah. I'm not too surprised.
That's exactly why I bring that up. It's because of what exactly you need to do to get those bombos.
Now that opens TR once we find a hammer.
And the mitts.
Oh, right. It also gets us into ice. We did find ice, as I recall.
Did we?
I thought we did. Though, again, not something you're in a rush to do without the hammer.
Well, apparently we have. That's one of those ones I actually don't have marked down.
Ooh, and Desert Ledge had the silvers. I don't think I noticed that before.
How did we get here?
Through a connector. I just don't remember. I didn't notice which connector Thelaine was taking.
Oh, Bumper Cave. Okay.
Oh. Were we going forward or backward? Well, I guess without the hook shot, it doesn't matter. You're only going to do it with the cape.
Ice Dark Shopping Mall. That explains it. It's right next to where the boots are.
So yes, we can enter it. We can do about half the checks. Don't have a hammer.
For those who are wondering where the boots are, they are in Blind's Hut, which is located in Dark Shopping Mall. Waterfall Ferry found for the lane for the Hyrule Castle Small on a map, and more importantly, guess where Zelga is?
Ooh, spicy. We don't have the hammer, so we can't really go left, but we do have the Cane of Samaria to go right.
And the Fire Rod as well. So that's a pretty big find, and we are immediately going to do spike the tile room, because that's how you do things in this mode.
Just a bit annoying that Zelga hasn't checked Zora's domain to get that cape.
Yeah.
So now he's doing all these fancy figure eights to avoid tiles, a wall master, and an anti-fairy. And this looks like Thaleine's play for Trinex. No, he's going the other way here.
I think he wants to get to that swamp entrance because he left that isolated when he took the exit out of Laser Bridge, I think. Maybe, I don't know. But he wants to get to this entrance. This is an isolated check at this stage.
Did Zelga ever find Sahasrara? Or does only Thelaine have that information?
I think both of them know where Sahasrara is. Mirror Shield. Hi. There's a small key to Desert Palace. Good stuff to find.
That opens up 2 more items. I mean, logically we need it. Technically we don't if there's nothing on right side desert.
Alright, this is the last check over here for Zelga. He's gonna grab that heart. Now, there's still a little more logic that we have, and we're gonna see Zelga go back over here to the right-hand side, because this is gonna be a play over to the Ice Armos.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't do that first. Because now he has to go through these torches all over again.
By the way, it looks like, if I'm correct in my assessment, we have yet to see the dam. We have also yet to see the Palace of Darkness. We don't know if we need to do either Swamp or Palace of Darkness at this point. However, we'll probably find that out at some point in time.
And yeah, I guess we've found all the other dungeons by now. Though we don't know where the front of Turtle Rock is.
Yeah, and you're not super concerned about the front of Turtle Rock. You just beat Trinex to find out what that front might be at some point. Meanwhile, the teammates for Zelga over at the Spoilers are planning a team meeting. Sorry, Zelga. And they better meet up real fast. Dr. Mario's playing tomorrow. There's a big key to Dark Palace.
So we're getting almost everything we need for Pod except for the hammer and the actual location of Pod. And honestly, if we find Pod at this point, I'm starting to wonder if the hammer might be French vanilla.
Could very well be in these upcoming 4 checks. These are the... Oh dear. Oh dear. Shovel. Oh dear.
What's the oh dear?
Here's something rude, by the way, Drosty. You know what we have access to?
Lots of things.
At least...
We can go upstairs in GT, can't we?
We can at least get 2 in logic checks, I believe. Make it 3 if we find another small key. I don't know exactly what the key logic is. Zelga's one of those ones who knows these logic things a lot better than I do. But he's not going to climb that tower. Oh, Palace of Darkness is a pendant. Swamp is a pendant! We may never need to find those.
I wonder why the game is giving us so many keys for them then. And of course, that also means by process of elimination, everything else are crystals. But we did find a CT small, so now we can get to that second castle tower. Just probably not a high priority, but if you happen to be in the neighborhood, it's 1 more check.
And now we're going to drop down the spec rock. I know the lane did this earlier, and I didn't jot down where it went. Ah, hi.
Guess we don't need to open TR.
Well, I guess we don't need Bombos then.
Oh, right, now that we have Fire Rod, it's not even our entrance to Ice Palace.
The lane checking the map as well. We do, of course, already know the rest of our information here. Finds out that Meyer is a crystal. Hasn't head over towards the skull just yet to find out that that is Misery Meyer. So let's talk about go mode. Technically, we need to find a Tower of Hera big, but these runners, they're going to go without, if they can. because they could try to get the hook shot and Hera pop.
But we don't necessarily need to find the hook shot.
That's right. So we need either the hook shot or the Tower of Hera big for that. Desert Palace, we definitely need the big key. And Misery Mire, we definitely need the big key. We are just in key mode at this point. Actually, no, we do need the hammer for Ice Palace, which is right there where the lane just found.
Right. It is possible in Cross Keys to have a hammerless seed because only 3 dungeons require the hammer, but it's incredibly unlikely, something like 1 in 120 that you get exactly the right 3 dungeons being pendants.
Yep, and of course, this time around, because Ice Palace is a crystal, we will need to find that hammer. So, hammer is necessary. We will need to find big keys for Desert, maybe Hera, and Misery Mire. That's what our goal mode index is at this point.
And Thallane's boots are there at 110.
According to chat, that is a 45-minute advantage that Zelga's had these boots.
That's a lot. And Thalane is going into ice with that fire rod, but no hammer. Of course, the hammer could be in ice.
All right, we are in Ice Palace. Zelga facing off against Blind. We already saw this fight earlier from the lane. Solid fight there for Zelga. As the lane continues to go through this Ice Palace.
Yeah, thanks to Icebreaker, he did get 1 chest out of Logic, but it wasn't anything, not surprisingly.
Gets himself a piece of heart. We do not have the big key, so we cannot check the big chest, but 1 remaining check inside of this dungeon. Ice Tea.
And we finally get a flute activation here. So we'll get our... Well, no, as you keep reminding us, we'd need the mitts to check Mire area. And
Sorry,
this could be...
These runners are not weak. These runners are not strong enough to make it into the Mire area just yet.
This could be a mitless seed, but we are getting our first look at Right Side Desert. Okay. Maybe this will be the hammer.
Or it could lead to the hammer.
Has Zelga checked the shovel spot yet?
Not yet. So we get ourselves the mushroom. So we have ourselves 2 wonderful fetch quests.
And ice was a bust.
Solid effort there for the lane trying to get in there and to figure out the answer to everything, but sadly not what we were looking for. As Zelga now going inside of this Tower of Hera, we'll get the same fantastic news that the lane got earlier. And we do see some new checks coming up over here. And there's the front of Turtle Rock.
Well, that's another 3 checks. So then we'll have seen everything except for whatever's on Trinex and the green pendant.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still wondering if Trinex or the Green Pendant has something, just given how early, especially now knowing that the Fire Rod was Sphere 1, even if it took the runners an hour to find it.
Which then makes you wonder if Sahashla's valued at something, and we'll figure that out in due time. Lane wisely remembering that he does not have the hook shot. Zelga waiting out the coffee break. And gets nothing out of this. Tower of Hera, we already knew this answer. That's just a piece of heart as the lane in the roller room. Sword upgrade and a book.
Now, the book does open the front of Desert as well as both tablets, since we still don't have access to the Mire area.
Mm-hmm. And we find King's Tomb with a red rupee inside of it on the fairy fountain on the Light World side. And there's the waterfall fairy for Zelga in the Hyrule Castle Small on the map.
All the Hyrule Castle Small really does is put that Master Sword in logic.
Mm-hmm.
Though we still haven't seen Dark Cross, have we?
Zelga went to Dark Cross, I thought.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, because you were talking about the ropes in the dark. Now I remember.
Hey, chess game! With a heart container. 2 more entrances for the lane to check on the Dark World side. Also, Light World side check over here at the Flute 5, and it's the front of the tavern.
Oh, Zelga never got his third TR small.
He never got it off the pokey. That explains it.
Ah.
Well, he didn't get the 3rd key to the dungeon, but he never got the pokey key.
Oh, but he is going to do Trinex now.
Yes, he is. Yep, straight to the back. This is going to do 2 things for Zelga. As we find the brewery for the lane. So here's what Zelga's up to. He's going to finish this dungeon. When you are done with this dungeon, you get spat out at the front of Turtle Rock. Zelga has not seen that Turtle Rock entrance yet. So this is new information on that regards. So that will also get him those 3 checks here without having to spend a key for it. This also will get him the item on Trinex as well as the green pendant. Mimic Cave, which we can't do.
He taking a safety exit here.
Rupees.
Looks like Zelga's taking the safety exit just because he's about to do Master Sword Hammerless. No, he was just.
And then he's going to go back in.
Oh, okay. Maybe Zora Domain as well and get his cape.
I don't know if he's going to do that.
He
that
has
might
Zora
take
money.
him too far away.
You got Zora money. You're up here. He has the mirror out.
You can also flute to 8. Although he just bonked there, so yeah, he's probably going to flute. Or rather, mirror. Yeah, he's going to go check this here. Get the hype cave check. So maybe he'll just back out and go back in. But I don't think you're skipping out of finishing this area. I think you have to finish this area here and do the Trinex if you're going to commit to these checks. Only because once you're done with this, you're not going to be in this area anymore.
Hey, and the lane's giving us new checks. I don't think we've seen Pyramid yet. He could mirror from the top and check the castle tower. Nope, not bothering. Because those are 3 more entrances.
And the lane's about to head into the same general area as Zelga is. As far as this race is concerned, outside of the fact that Zelga has already finished off Skull Woods, these runners are not that far away from each other. Now, there's a little bit of a difference between these two, but we're still not at a point where we can consider one runner with the lead and one runner that's at a disadvantage right yet.
Yeah, if one of them were to find the hammer or one of the big keys we still need, that could make a big difference. Especially if it winds up being part of a chain that leads to other things we need for Go mode. Like find desert big and, oh, what do you know, hammers on landmos.
Ew. And it looks like we are going to see the lane be the first one to go up against Trinex. Now, the fight for Trinex for the lane is going to be a little bit better than it is going to be for Zelga because of the Tempered Sword versus Master Sword. That's not going to really slow down Zelga too much because of the fact that he's going to go hammer strats where he's not even going to go there. He's just going to go straight over here towards the pyramid. Never mind.
Maybe he'll mirror from the top and we'll see what those three entrances are.
It's amazing how fast these runners can do this fight against Trinex. All set and done.
Very nice one cycle.
And being reminded that, yes, we don't have a hammer. That's right. You're not the only one here who's doing that, Drosy. I'm so used to having a hammer when you go up against Trinex.
But see, if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning.
But it's in the evening.
I do that too all over this land, and hey, there's Powder, which finally unlocks Magic Bat, as well as the Green Pendant.
Drosy, did you really go with that song reference?
Yes. I'm old.
Yes, I know.
So, I guess Zelga's gonna check Hobo now, get his first bottle. Have we even found Sick Kid?
No, that's another entrance that we haven't seen yet.
I didn't think we'd found it.
Piece of heart for the Green Pendant turn-in.
So I'm really wondering about Powder now.
I'm not. And there is no old man shaming at all going on in this channel. We're both old. We're older than dirt. Ah, hi there.
Sometimes it's fun being older than dirt. Yes.
Here we go. Is there something? 50 rupees.
Well, that leaves the other tablet in Desert Main entrance.
So if you like these two teams, Era 216 and the Spoilers, be sure to join us again on, on Thursday, 4:10 p.m. Eastern. For the second match between these two teams, representing the Spoilers will be Dr. Martio, and representing Era 216 will be Arior. That's 4:10, channel to be determined, but that should be a real fun and exciting second match between these two awesome teams, the two top teams of the Skullwoods division.
And in fact, I haven't totally gone over this, but I think if one of them sweeps this week, they could theoretically clinch a playoff spot this week.
Yeah, that's right. The Spoilers will have clinched a spot if they sweep this week over Error 216, or if Don't Forget to Track Us loses one of their matches, I believe, is how it works.
So now the runners once again going over each other's checks. We're not going to see anything new for a bit. Where was Magic Bat? Somewhere in CAC?
Useless Fairy drop down.
Oh, useless. Okay. So I guess not super close by, but not super far away for the lane.
Yeah, it's an annoying spot to get to. We are going to see the lane. Head over here to the Bombo's tablet next, though. As we wait to go ahead and see what we have at the Bombo's tablet. And falling down the sky, that book has so far yielded us 70 rupees.
Clearly, the book is really how to make money. It's a secret guide to making money fast.
So this is going to be the rupee grinding cave then.
Most likely.
All right, here we go. Inside of the desert, we find Sick Kid.
Oh, there's the Sick Kid finally.
With a small key, and this is a GT small.
Well, that, by our knowledge, does put the top of GT in logic. Still can't logically beat it without a hook shot.
Paradox Cave here for the lane, trying to figure out where exactly he's going. Just going to use this as a connector to get to another side. Which is up to the mountain, so that way he can do the first check of Hookshot Cave. As we bonk in to find 3 bombs. And now, it's time to hit A few times. Just a few times.
Yes, Zelga did not have the boots when he was in here.
And we get ourselves a small key to Skull Woods.
Now that's
So
interesting.
Makula is hookshot blocked.
Right.
The big key to the Tower of Hera, which is hookshot blocked. Funny.
So where the heck is that hook shot?
Well, we'll tell you after the lane falls down the hole, and we'll be back after these messages.
Yeah, this makes it very interesting because now we know that the hook shot is in fact logically required to beat the seed. Wonder if it's upstairs in GT. Like, we have 3 checks upstairs in GT that we now know are fully in logic.
Shovel check. Oh! It's hammer time!
Guess we've been sitting on that for a while. So that opens up a lot of GT now. Meanwhile, Thelaine is in there and won't be able to progress in this direction.
And there is a big key, by the way, that Zelga's immediately going to grab. That is this hammer blocked.
Oh, right. Could be Mire or Desert.
Or it could be Swamp. That's the one you don't want to see. It's Desert. It is required.
See, Drossi the Optimist wins out here.
Rick, I played this a few times, and I know how this game likes to work sometimes. Am surprised.
So that's 2 more items.
Where was Soy Pete again? I saw a typo there if I'm trying X. I'm sorry to
soybean was shovel.
Well, say hello to YouTube, by the way, Trinex.
In the wonderful world of logic, Bob's chest is in logic because it's logically locked behind 3 GT smalls, again, even though each runner only has 2, we know where 3 are between the 2 of them. Even though both Rando Room and Compass Room are logically locked behind all 4 smalls.
Zelga now waiting to finish off his 4th dungeon. That'll be a 2 crystal advantage on the lane at this point, and in the end, you still need 7 crystals in order to defeat Ganon.
But Zelga can also, as long as there's nothing in Ice Big Chest, he can 1-trip Ice.
And And that is 2 checks right now that the lane was unable to get inside of that dungeon. Oh, yes, yes. Arior is now mentioning it in chat. That could be
of course,
awful.
Thieves Big.
Hookshot could very well be in that Thieves Town big chest that both of these runners have finished off. That would be disgusting. Red mail found. By the way, the lane has a better reason to check the pedestal when he checks the back of Skull Woods where Misery Mire turned out to be. The pedestal's not dead yet.
We'd have to find the dam and find Pod first.
Yes.
And find
indeed.
a hook shot.
Yes, indeed.
And the only thing that could be on it is Mire Big.
We haven't seen any transitions to the Mire area yet. So those could very well be over Mitts blocked.
Oh, yes, right. It could have the Mitts locking Mire Big. But Shady Force has the right idea there that Mire Big is clearly in that 4th chest and hookshot cave.
Well, I mean, that's a possibility, considering the fact that the lane wound up only getting 3 out of 4 checks inside of there. Welcome to Cross Keys, everybody. Where the first 90 minutes don't matter, and, well, the leads don't matter.
The lane's going to be in Useless Fairy area, where we might see what magic that has.
Yeah, that's probably the next check here for the lane. As Zulga is heading over towards the Ice Palace area. And the lane is heading away from Useless Fairy.
Interesting. I guess he realized he forgot Bonk Rocks here.
Yeah, he's going to get Skull Woods next.
And Zelga's going for ice, so we will find out what the lane missed in here, if anything.
As we take a look at the Skullwoods division of this league, currently being led by the Spoilers at 7-1, Error 216 at 6-2. Go is at 5-3. After their sweep of the Bomb Squad last week, Tal Rumi's currently sitting at 5-3 as well. Don't forget to track us at 4-4. Two Pearl, Two Furious is at 3-5, and the Bomb Squad and Upstar Wasich Niched. I know I mispronounced that. I don't care. Those two might be meeting up in week 7 in a battle of who gets relegated and who doesn't. Bomb Squad taking on Don't Forget to Track Us this week. First of the matches for that team coming up tomorrow night, as it will be me versus Ikir. Go versus Upstar Wasich. Again, sorry to the Germans.
Upstar war's auch nicht.
The Spoilers here against Error 216 and Tile Roomies against Two Pearl, Two Furious in the Skullwoods division. As Zelga's getting ready for a very important check. This H room. A check that the lane was unable to make because he came in here without the hammer. Just 20 rupees. The lane is going to check that second chest of Agate Tower.
Another one-off that could have something.
And the lane has good reason to be in this area right at this point. Still hasn't checked the back of skull where we know Misery Mire is going to be. And inside of this check over here in the maze, we find 3 bombs. Ganon is at the Uncle drop down.
And Uncle is at the Ganon drop down.
Which is interesting, given the fact that that means the hookshot would be blocking 3 items on the top of GT alone. It's always a breeze to watch these runners route Ice Palace in ways that you never thought was imaginable.
Yeah, well, I mean, also, Icebreaker makes it so much easier to route.
Oh, yeah, for certain.
And then you occasionally see someone have to do it without Samaria, and you remember the old routings of Ice Palace, and you hope they do as well.
And then you gotta remember how to do Ice Palace bomb jump. Solid fight against Cold Stare. 7 slashes and rupees for the prize. And there's the crystal for Zelga.
You know, Rick.
So somebody was asking if we are just a Misery Mire big key away from go mode. The answer is no. While we do need the Misery Mire big key, we also still need to find either the hookshot or the Tower of Hera big key.
Well, the Tower of Hera big key was
Never mind.
I mean, logically you need the hookshot for that. I assume Zelga can hover? I don't know.
Zelga can. He is not super consistent about it, but he can hover. As he sees the silvers right there on the edge.
He never found the connector there, though.
Never found Bumper Cave.
It's also impressive we've only found 1 bottle in all this.
Alright, the next stop here for Zelga. Now, we're going to head into the Dark World. Judging by that hammer being out, I wonder what the next destination is going to be for Zelga at this stage. We have that one entrance in the Village of Outcasts that hammer unlocks.
Imagine being able to get to the Dark World by portal rather than connector.
Cross keys is fun.
Well, I can tell you Zelga is confirmed not PBing in this seed.
Well, yeah. Oh, he's going back to GT. Because that hammer opens up a few places that he knows how to bomb jump.
Yeah, getting to... And also 1 check in Logic. Map chest is in Logic.
Yeah, the map check is in Logic. The other stuff he's going to be checking is out of Logic, but he's going to bomb jump his ways there.
Now, if you're in here, do you climb?
Being reminded that we haven't seen all 4 GT Smalls, I think. But one of them could very well be on the climb.
Right, so we are doubly logically locked out of Rando Room.
Alright, here is the entry into the Staphos room. These are out of Logic. Misery Mire Small.
Ether. Does get rid of Stalfos in a hurry. More cherry fluid.
And our gold sword. So there's going to be another bomb jump we're going to see from Zelga coming up here in just a moment. Not until after we check this map chest. It's going to be over in the Fire Snake room. As we get a small key to Turtle Rock. That is the 4th and final of the Turtle Rock keys now known to man.
Which means that Trinex is now logically available. which means that we now know that the hookshot could be on Magic Bat because that chest was logically bonkable.
By the way, we have another entrance that was open to us that I had actually forgotten about.
Yes,
but,
I was
chat
starting
is
to
reminding
mention.
us.
I was starting to mention that when we finished ice, and then we wound up on a digression. Interesting.
Titan's mitts.
Also,
locked.
hookshot locked. So we know the hookshot isn't mitts locked.
Piece of heart, 3 bombs, 20 rupees, and a small key to Dark Palace. That is the 6th and final of the Palace of Darkness keys. And Zelga has no intentions on climbing at this point in time. Those mitts open up several other checks, but we know it can't be the hookshot.
And speaking of climbing, the lane is climbing Hera here.
Yeah, with that big key.
Yeah, we still need that Meyer Big, and that Meyer Big could be anywhere.
And we find the other end of the Quarreling Brothers. This could be access to the Meyer area. Well, it's the access to the Meyer area, but not how I was taking it.
Okay, and that's our final GT Small in the Hera Big, so I guess, actually, Homemade Beer has a good point. Since Map Chest is locked behind a door, logically that requires all 4 GT Smalls, therefore, the hookshot cannot be behind the powder. Though again, Meyer Big could be.
True, although Turtle Rock is interesting because of the entrances.
Yeah.
Turtle Rock, because of the entrances, can be interesting.
Right, it's just the only things that require all 4 small keys are Lava Chest and Trinex. The rest of it can be quite open, depending on how accessible the entrances are.
And we're going to get a new entrance here. We are going to get that magic powder check. Here we go.
This is also our first look at hammer pegs.
Magic bat. 50 rupees. And we find the Waterfall of Wishing underneath the hammer pegs. This is going to be fun in about 20 minutes from now when we finally get this connection, this logic all pieced together.
Okay, chat's objecting to my calling it the map chest in GT. We just finished spoiler week, and that's what it's called in the spoiler log.
Spoilers are wrong, yo. Let's get the silvers. Mushroom was nothing. There's the hammer pickup for the lane also while we're at it. Misery Mire, the Mire Shed.
Oh, his pod.
Oh. Gross.
14 checks in here. We can full clear the dungeon. Meyer Big could easily be in here.
That really is the only thing that could be in here, although Zelga's still looking for the Tower of Hera Big key if that shows up.
Right, and as best we know, Hookshot can't be in here because we never found a connector to Meyer area, so...
Yep.
The Hookshot locked mitts, to our best knowledge, are the only access here. And Zelga will either need to find that Hookshot...
Big key
swamp!
Oh! And now that means that we are down to 2 big keys remaining in this game. Misery Mire's big key and Ice
Ice.
Palace's big key.
Which is logically required. Yeah, Zelga's unfortunate situation is he doesn't know where Hera Big is.
Yep. And that's one of the situations here is that the lane was able to hover enough to get that.
Zelga simply didn't have boots when he was in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, that was part of the problem. Although now that he's got boots, he does have access to that one check, which might make that a thing that he'll think about at some point in time. Just the thing is that he's got no reason to go into that corner of the map at this point. Maybe if he has to go back into GT to climb it, maybe he might stop by Hookshot before going in there.
Hey, Thelaine didn't actually check PED, did he?
I think the lane has zero reason to, although...
Could be Meyer Big.
The Meyer Big could still be there.
Meyer Big could be literally anywhere in the game except for Meyer Big Chest Vitreous or if there's something locked behind the GT entrance.
Big key!
Ah! Now that's also interesting because that means that Pyramid Fairy can't have the hook shot.
Zelga. No. Should have an idea, or I mean, both of these runners should now know that's why this game gave you all 6 of the pod keys. Because Maze, Dark Maze, is locked by all 6.
Yeah.
Next big key, by the way, is the Meyer Big. But yeah, that's why this game gave us all 6 pods.
And
Ice Mall.
That's the conclusion of our access to ice.
Zelga now 13 out of 14 without any reason to go to Helmisar King at this point, I guess. Want to get those silvers.
So he'll see Bumper Cave here, which he has not been in. I wonder if he'll follow it or check everything else. Check everything else, makes sense. Because we still have this, and then we have, what, 4 other entrances in Meyer?
Yeah. So right now we're down to 3 entrances that have yet to be checked.
Oh yeah, and checkerboard.
Zelga forgetting that he's already gone through the Quarreling Brothers.
Oh, that was a connector. I forgot that too. Ooh, Chicken Hut.
Chicken Coop, which is a very interesting location, and the lane's going to go ahead and check to see what we got at Zora, which we already know is nothing important. A heart container inside of the Chicken Coop. You're starting to get to that point here at an hour 47. Now, a lot of runners at the hour 47 minute mark, you're probably not starting to worry, but when you look at high caliber runners like the Lane and Zelga, you're going to start getting a little bit freaked out once you get closer and closer to that 2-hour mark in cross keys and you're not in go mode.
Yeah, each of these runners knows full well that the other runner has many sub 2-hour cross keys seeds under his belt.
All right, the Meyer entrance turns out to be, well, there's our rupee grinding cave.
So where to now, Zelga? He'll probably check Pyramid Fairy.
Or he won't.
Okay, then.
Spike Cave.
Oh. Makes sense. Got Burnout.
And so too is the Lane!
Wow.
Whoa!
Interesting.
Here we go, both of them in the same place. What are we gonna get? Small key to Misery Meyer.
Don't need that.
Well, technically we do, but not these runners. Zelga's going to be checking Ether Tablet here. Has not done that yet.
As we know, it was just 50 rupees.
That's right. And the lane's heading for Mimic Cave.
Wow, all these disparate hammer-locked places we found so long ago.
Yeah, but this is the nature of cross keys. You got to go back to them. I don't think Zelga wanted to flute to 6.
No, he's pretty well full cleared that area. Is he doing Mimic Cave as well?
I think so. I think both of these runners have a idea that they want to get into Mimic Cave. The lane is the first one there. Get the mimics into the right spot. There we go. Makes it look real easy. And inside of this chest we have...
I still want to know where the heck that hook shot is.
I have a prediction.
What's your prediction?
You see, both of these runners have access to it, although they've been putting it off. And I'm trying to see if the lane might be heading in that direction, but the answer is no. You know what I think it is?
What?
We're going to find the dam in the pyramid entrance. The pyramid fairy entrance.
Oh, I didn't remember finding the dam.
Yeah, there's a reason why we can't go into swamp right now. Well, there's a reason why we can't go into swamp right now.
Right, we're running out of entrances that could be the dam. Did we ever turn in the mushroom?
Yeah, we did. The lane showed us it was nothing.
Oh, okay.
It was 20 rupees.
Hey, at least one fetch quest for fruit.
Hookshot Cave. Zelga is going to get some big information here. And we're going to see how well he can actually do the hovering. I know he's done it before. It's not necessarily his strongest suit, but he's going to try it. And all he really needs to do is get this first chest, I think.
Yeah, well, and then you can bonk to the next one.
But then he's going to say no to it. And has said, I'm going to go somewhere else. Because he's going to GT or not.
It's a blur at this point.
Agate Tower, he's checking that second chest.
Yeah, I mean, we do have 3 chests upstairs in GT. The hookshot could be in one of those 3. And if it is, then, you know, everything's back in logic, and we're back to the Meyer big key could be anywhere.
As chat's pointing out, the first one to go upstairs in GT may be the one who wins it, but Zelga's just around the corner and has the portal all set up. This is going to be a GT climb for Zelga.
Yeah, if it's not here, then it's the lane's advantage because the lane was able to hover Hookshot Cave, and that got him the Hera Big. Now, of course, if it's possible that both Hookshot and Meyer Big are upstairs in GT, and then Zelga just has to go back to Hookshot Cave to be in go mode.
Looks like the lane's heading for the portal. Now, here's the thing with the lane. He's yet to do downstairs. GT. He may just do that, trying to find the Meyer Big, so that way he can just get in go mode without even needing to find the hookshot.
Right, that's really Thallane's big advantage, that he has Hera big, and therefore has been able to finish Hera without the hookshot, which is why he's at 6 crystals and Zelga's at 5.
Yep. And again, Hera, as people are pointing out, is a quick dungeon. Zelga is probably at this stage going to make that dungeon number 7.
Not only
depending on
is
how
it
things go.
Not only is it quick, it is a very simple flute to 2.
That's why it's quick.
Oh, I thought you were just saying because the dungeon's short, which is also true.
Well, yeah, it's definitely short, but the fact that it's right at flute spot 2, you can't get any faster than that. Oh, bomb check. Here we go. This is the big check that I was waiting for.
So you think this is going to be Dam?
I think this is going to be Dam.
Still can't lock the hook shot.
No, but it could very well have the Meyer big. It could very well have. Wait, why can't it have the hook shot?
Because Ice Palace big was in pod.
Oh, okay, yes, you're right.
Right. For the benefit of chat, for those of you who might not have been here for all of this, Mitts were in Fire Snake Room. Mitts was our only access to the Meyer area. Pod was in the Meyer area, and Ice Palace Big was in Pod. Therefore, since Fire Snake Room is hookshot locked, we had to bomb jump to get there.
Yep. Here we go.
The big red bomb is hookshot locked.
Big checks coming up here right now.
On both sides.
300 rupees in the right chest. No, it's not the dam. Damn it.
Damn it. I think the dam's in GT, honestly, and we're just not going to see it.
Probably at this stage. I think it has to be. There is
oh!
Oh!
Yeah, that's a place for the hook shot. So now, is Meyer Big here?
Nope, that's a small key to Castle Tower, which we know doesn't lead to anything. However, remember what's at Aga 2.
Yep.
The drop down for the Hyrule, the Uncle drop down is by way of the Pyramid drop down. So Zelga has to finish this out. The lane making his way towards GT, but he's got a whole basement to worry about. Nice triple, double triple.
Wow, double triple.
Get some hype for these runners.
Zelga's really using his newfound hookshot now.
Well, you might as well at this point.
And after this, he has to go back to Hookshot Cave.
After this, he's dropping down here.
Right, I mean, after he drops into this hole and gets the 2 chests here.
And I'm just trying to see if there's a convenient route. But yeah, he's going to have to get back into Hookshot Cave. There's a hover for the lane. We get ourselves a heart container off the Uncle. And no. Now, the plot thickens. There's that one chest that the lane never got out of Hookshot Cave.
There's also Helmasaur King.
You shut your mouth.
It's in logic.
So too is the Thieves' Town Small, or the basement.
Oh, interesting. I mean, this isn't gonna hurt Zelga.
Except for when he finds the hookshot, or rather, yeah, when he finds the big key instead of Hookshot Cave. Ooh.
Right, but I think it was just a GT small in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll help him figure out the logic for the seed, but...
It's just more of the time coming back to hear if he decides to do so type of thing. There's the mitts for the lane. This will get us tied on crystal count, 6-6. However, I think at this point, this may start becoming Zelga's race to lose. But now the nerves, you're reaching 2 hours.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really...
By the way,
whoever
Drosy,
finds Meyer... Sorry, what were you saying?
we have another entrance that we haven't checked yet.
Which one?
We have another entrance we haven't checked yet. Ice Palace entrance.
Oh, right. We wound up on that island way early on, well before we had the mitts. And no one's gone back since getting them. Well, Elaine only just got the mitts.
Zelga is going to flute to 8. And I think we're going to get that check right now.
Geez, all those checks you make at 10 minutes and then forget about.
Nope, it's not the dam. All right, so dam has to be at GT now.
Well, at least that puts Ped to rest.
Yes, it does.
And the 10 chests inside Swamp.
Yes, it does. So at this point, we are down to the question mark of the pod, Helmassar King, or that one chest in Hookshot Cave that the lane has left behind. Or Thieves Town, big chest. Zelga's going to be checking the pyramid bomb.
Makes sense. I mean, everything's in logic now.
Or goodness.
Oh, Smith's and Purple
big
chest. We have not done that yet.
Yes, we have.
Have we? Oh, I totally missed that on Zelga's side then.
Zelga has. Both
Okay,
of them have been cleared.
Totally missed that.
Oh my goodness. This is going to be the first one to Meyer Big. Problem is that the lane has too many checks that these mitts open up. Because he's going to find the Palace of Darkness once he heads over to the Meyer area.
I'm a bit surprised since Zelga was just in Hookshot. I mean, I guess it's just kind of out of the way. Because he was just there, tried to hover it, couldn't, then got the hookshot, knows there are 3 items there, which makes it one of the most item-rich remaining locations.
Yeah, and these runners at this skill level, they have a list of locations that are left open. But the problem is that the dam is still one of them. And that opens up Swamp Palace, which has... How many checks are in Swamp Palace?
10.
10. That's a whole lot more than just 3.
If they're making a list, though, do they check it twice?
I want a new commentary partner.
Anyway.
We're getting Hookshot Cave.
Yeah.
Zelga's beelining it for there right now.
Through Paradox Cave again. Meanwhile, if the lane goes all the way to Helma King, sure, it's 1 against 3, and then there's Thieves' Big Chest, but you never know. Rando gone rando, right?
So here's that check. It's just a bottle. There's the Hera Big. Zelga going probably damn it at this point in time. That is big news there for the lane. He did not leave behind the Meyer Big in that one chest. Just left a bottle behind. All right. This is stressful, Drosy.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything left besides Helma King and Thieves Big?
No. Oh no, Ice Palace Big. We still
right. We got that in Pod, in fact.
Yes, we did.
all horrible checks, though.
They're all one-offs.
I mean, if it's Helma King, Thelaine wins, I think.
Yeah, easily.
Assuming Thelaine does finish off Pod here, rather than deciding I don't want to do the 2.5 minutes to make that one check.
There's the GT small for Zelga. And we do see the lane getting ready to head over towards, I believe, the right side. And
Yeah.
therefore, this will be the check to at least fully complete this dungeon.
Oh, no, he hasn't done Vanilla Big Key.
He hasn't done the complete.
Oh, right, he hasn't done anything over here. Got it, right. So he will conclude with Helma King, presumably.
Zelga's going back to ice. No, he's not. He's going back to. He's doing something. Yeah, that's exactly how this commentary is turning into. They're doing something.
Oh, right, he never beat Trinex. Well, at least with the Butter Sword, he can zero cycle it. But yeah, we know that Magic Bat isn't the answer. Nor is the Green Pendant. So then Zelga's basically behind now because, you know, it's not going to be in Swamp, so the hookshot isn't hard locking anything. So unless the lane climbs GT and gives back that time to Zelga, Zelga's behind.
Yeah, the lane's never going to need that hook shot.
But the lane does realize, I'm sure, that there are 3 checks atop GT. What?
The lane's leaving!
Oh, so, okay. I guess neither of them wanted to invest that 2.5 minutes for one check, but one of them's gonna have to soon enough.
Stay tuned. We have another race coming up after this. I don't know how the next race can live up to this hype. Soon enough, we will have the 810 race coming up here on SpeedGaming 2, but stick around. Things are interesting in this race.
Yeah, in the name of DT versus Krellbell coming up.
Magic Powder and the Green Pendant pickup for Zelga. Still 2 more checks for him to make. Oh my goodness. The teammates for the spoilers, the teammates for Error 216, they're probably screaming into their blankets. I know some of these runners on these 2 teams, it is after midnight for them. The lane, no, he's leaving again!
Oh no!
He's leaving again!
I guess these runners really don't want to check Helma King.
Oh my goodness!
So where's he off to?
He's fluting to 1! And then floating away!
Oh, he hasn't done the Ice Palace entrance yet. He'll just find the ferry.
Oh my goodness!
They're going everywhere except where they need to go, as usual. But they don't know that.
It's everywhere you don't want to be. Zelga about ready to check the green pendant in, about to get the sad news. The lane is fluting to 3. This is going to be the GT climb. Zelga is checking the Thieves' Town Big Chest!
Okay, one of the 3 remaining locations.
As the lane is now climbing up the tower. This throws things back into the spoilers' hands here.
Watch it be in Pod. It's probably in Pod.
Nice. God pixel there for Zelga. Head downstairs. The 8th and final check of this dungeon. We didn't have the hammer the first time around, but the seed gave us the small key and the big key relatively early. Here we go, Drosy.
It's not this one. Oh, no, it is! Oh, my...
2 hours, 9 minutes, 55 seconds! Zelga, the first runner, into go mode!
Rick, don't forget to breathe. But yes, of course they could have had that for a while, though not like the shovel was in a great location, but you know, it got to the point of, well, I can do the rest of Thieves Town and I'm running out of locations. So yeah, that is almost certainly GG's.
As the lane now climbs up the tower, you mentioned it way early in this run, Jurassy, that Thieves Town big chest. Who knew that an hour and 40 minutes ago you said words and it came back to haunt these two runners?
Yes, I mean,
this race.
Didn't we agree that like the Thieves Town big chest is always a problem, as you learned firsthand?
And it's the same key that it was in the race between me and Zelga in week 3, the Meyer Big.
So Zelga by now should just know that, like, Thieves' Big Chest is the room of requirement for Meyer Big. Ooh, Thelaine running a bit low on magic.
Yeah, he's got this, though.
Yeah.
Just barely gets it, but yeah, he's fine. About to get that hook shot. About to get some sadness. That will consider a finish. You see Zelga throwing a block into the abyss there to set up the spooky.
All the ways of setting up spooky still just boggle my mind.
There's the puff of the dust and the activation of spooky for Zelga. I'm sorry for deafening the ears of those of you here on Speed Gaming 2, but don't forget, coming up here in about 17 minutes from now, we have another hype match for you. I want you to stick around for that match. It's the match between OK Game and WJPDTB. The division leading WJPDTB in the Misery Mire division, aptly speaking, 7-1.
Aren't those silvers nice?
Oh, yeah. 7-1. Wonderful job there for WJPDTB. They definitely have had quite a run through this, and this was not an easy division with Pug Trio in this division as well. But that is crystal number 7 for Zelga. All that's next is a fight against Ganon.
With Buttersword and silvers. So it's basically the high Ganon by Ganon fight.
All right, Zelga, going over here to Hyrule Castle. That is where the Ganon drop down is going to be. I just am curious about one thing, Drosy.
What's that?
This is a 2-hour and 14-minute seed for these kind of runners.
What would it be like in the Open League?
Well, we won't go there, but, you know, there's a lot of good runners in that Open League, too, so that,
yes.
I mean, they could surprise us, and they could put up times like this, and they may not go into Thieves Town without the hammer.
That's true. someone who has the forbearance to hold off Thieves Town, since there wasn't anything useful in the back of it otherwise. It's just like, you know, the seed was getting along, you want to get a crystal, it is a 5-6 crystal.
All right. As Zelga gets ready to finish off this stage number 3, the lane's about ready to get some sadness with that bottle. And there's the first of the silver arrows for Zelga. Relights the torch. Oh, no, doesn't get it just immediately, but does hold his cool and prevents him from falling down. Nice dash there to get to number 2. Gets him in a perfect set. 1 and 2. That's it. And the spoilers are now 1 win away from clinching a playoff spot after their win. Zelga Disan over the lane. Get your GGs in the chat for this race. My goodness.
And he will finish with an official time of 2:15:08. And there goes the lane with the forfeit, not surprisingly. Yep. They discussed in the race time chat in the 10 minutes that we've been running out the delay that, you know, Thelaine was down to the 3 locations now. And we have joining us, one or both of them?
We have Zelga in here with us. GG's.
Hey, GG's. Thank you.
So Zelga, week number 2, you decide to hold off to go into Thieves Town, where because you have the small key and you have a hammer, you find yourself the Meyer Big. What was going through your mind when you open up that chest, and there again is the Meyer Big here in week 5?
My first thought was, okay, have I lost yet? I saw I hadn't. Next thought was, okay, do I have a shot? My third thought was, okay, if I do lose, at least hopefully Rick gets some good schadenfreude from the Meyer Big and the Thieves Big chest.
I don't know if it was in time for the delay, but my goodness, you should have heard my reaction when that was that.
Yeah, that felt bad.
This whole entire seed had to be Schadenfreude. Nice place for that hook shot, pre-Moldorm 2.
Yeah, that was my hard, last logical location. Things like the Thieves Big Chest, Ice Big Chest, from what I learned in Pod, like there was a Turtle Rock key, so the Thieves Big key was out. There was the Ice Big key, so that big chest was out. I knew my hook shot by the time I was climbing GT. I knew either it or the powder that led to the hook shot had to be upstairs.
Interesting, yeah, I didn't even think of the small key correlation, but yeah, that's right. And of course, the Ice Palace big key being locked behind 6 pods.
Right, and you had to have the mitts that needed the hook shot to even get to pod. There was no connector, so yeah, that's why I climbed when I did. It was hard last location, although I guess theoretically it would have been better probably if I had done Thieves Big Chest first, but I don't know. It felt gross, but I was just so focused on, well, a hook shot or a Hera Big gets me Hera. I know where the hook shot has to be at this point. Let's just go get it.
That's understandable, and of course, we did see the lane hover. So all the lane for a while there was looking for was the Meyer Big, and if they got that first, they would have had you in this race, but it turned out to be that neither of you wanted to make that investment back into Thieves Town until you finally did get back in there, and that's what determined this race.
Yeah, I was talking to Thelaine in the chat, and we had the exact same last 3 checks in the game between Thieves Town Big Chest, Ice Big Chest, and Helmasaur. So I know he wasn't too far behind me at all. This was a really close race. I'm sure it was a very interesting watch. And yeah, if Thelaine had that Hera Big early from hovering, then I imagine this was a very intense trying to find that last key.
Now, I do have to ask this a question before I turn it over to Drossi. How does it feel to have a Spear 1 flute given to you at just short of the hour mark?
About the same as it felt getting the Sphere 1 glove and fire rod about 5 seconds later, which was absolutely terrible.
And you still found it before Thelaine.
Oh, that actually really surprises me.
And I think what really gave you a little bit of a pad in this race is the fact that you had the boots about 40 minutes before the lane did, out of the dark shopping mall.
I did actually feel pretty good about the boots. I had a feeling that I was the first one to those because it was a pretty bad connector chain that got me there. And the way I did it required the Turtle Rock bomb jump to the big chest. So it was definitely an awkward location. And yeah, I'm not too surprised to hear that.
So tomorrow, or rather not tomorrow, but on Thursday, your teammate Dr. Mario will be facing off against Arior in the second of these two matches. And either that or a loss by Don't Forget to Track Us, and your team will be heading to the playoffs. What's your thoughts?
I actually didn't realize we were that close to clinching a playoff spot. That's awesome. I think, at least personally, that was my goal coming into this, is just qualify for the playoffs.
I think it also depends on how some of the other teams in the division do, but it's certainly possible that you clinch a playoff spot with another win, depending on how the rest of the week goes.
Well, right. I mean, we also have 2 Pearl, 2 Furious, but I think there are tiebreakers too that might also get into play too. But yeah, you are definitely close to getting into a playoff position, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Again, anything you want to suggest to Dr. Mario for your team for that second match?
I trust Marty to play his game. He pretty much has carried this team through the last 2 seasons of League. He's got a ridiculous opponent to beat, but I've got faith in him. He's a great runner. I'm glad to have him on the team, so he'll do his thing, and we'll be just fine regardless.
But regardless of the playoff position here or not, the fact that your team is currently 8-1 in this really difficult division with Error 216, with Go, with Tile Roomies in it, it's got to be feeling pretty good for your team.
Oh, absolutely. I was kind of just expecting almost all of these weeks to just maybe be like a 1-1 split, if that. So the fact that we've gotten this far on 1 loss, I'm really happy with the team and its performance. And yeah, we still got 5 more regular season races to go.
You could match your season 3 win total by the end of this week.
Now, that would actually be pretty neat. And maybe we can actually, make it to the playoffs and avoid like weird tiebreak scenarios.
Well, there's an extra spot in the division, so you might have a better chance this time.
Also, yeah, that also helps for early clinches. That if you only have to guarantee that you're top 4 rather than top 3.
Absolutely. So there's one thing I want to ask, one further question I want to ask. Week 6 is open mode. Week 7 is the co-op Randomizer. Are you planning on playing in any of those races coming up here, Zelga?
I'm guessing this will probably be the end of my regular season. It's not set in stone by any means, but I imagine this is probably the last race I'm going to be doing for the season. Before playoffs, at least.
You're gonna leave the open mode and the Randomizer to your teammates. I see how it is.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of Randomizer, although I do think co-op, and especially now with the new functionality on compasses telling you your bosses, I do think it might actually be pretty fun. But I'm more than happy to take the back seat on this.
And if you do head over to the sidelines for the final 2 weeks, going out 7-0 is a good way to go out.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how the season has gone so far. Not just myself, but the team as a whole. Like, even the one that we lost, I don't feel bad about that at all. I feel like Shady played a really good race and just came out on the other side of it. So yeah, we're doing really good, and I'm really happy with the team.
Casual Boots in 124.11 against Jay Meisher is a pretty solid effort. So, I mean, you can't be too upset about that one. Your team is currently doing very, very well. You're now 8-1 on the season. GG's to you, and good luck in the second race coming up on Thursday, 4:10 p.m. Eastern. GG's once again, Zelga.
Thank you very much. And GG's again to Thelaine, of course. Always love racing him. It's a lot of fun. And everybody on the Error 216 team. I would have been happy to race any of them. I'm big fans of all of them. So GG's, and thank you guys for doing the tracking and the commentary and the restreaming. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Now, we will say GG's to the lane. Another good effort there. Just came out, unfortunately, on the unlucky side of the things. But, that's the way things go.
And needless to say, with it being 2 a.m. for him, that he's just kind of turning in now.
Absolutely. But we do have to turn in because we have another race beginning in 5 minutes. Drosy?
Yeah, so stick around here. We have In the Name of DT for WJP DTB versus Krellbell for OK Game. Both very long-standing members of the community, quite well known. Should be quite a match here. We'll have Corvane and Tracy on comms, Seru X tracking, which also leads us to once again shout out our own tracker, Toffile, for doing a great job. Cross keys is a lot of work to track, especially early on when there's total divergence between the runners and they're both coming up with new stuff all the time. So huge thanks to them for that.
Absolutely.
And
So
Rick,
stay tuned. Coming up next, we have WJP DTB at 7-1 and OK Game at 3-5. That's coming up next here on Speed Gaming 2. So I'm going to give Drosy the final word. I'm Adirondack Rick saying stay tuned. We got more fun here on the Cross Keys Week of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. For more information about the league, you can turn to ALTTPRleague.com.
Which we have just put the links there in chat. And I was just going to say, Rick, I'm glad we got to do this. A lot of fun. Hopefully not quite a crazy seed next time we come together, but yeah, it's been great. And as we've said, just stick around in a few more minutes. We'll have a whole new set of comms and a whole new set of runners for you.